What's up, everybody? This is Gio Aretos, Principal Advisor of the Real Estate Investment Group at Nationwide, and I'm here to give our quarterly update. Now, I know that I've been quiet on social media and in the newsletters and the updates for a little bit since the last forum because I've been watching what's going on in the market. It's been quite interesting. So I'm going to answer a lot of your questions, a lot of things that I've gotten requests for, and hey, what's going on here? So I'm going to address some of that stuff. I'm going to give you a little bit of information that's going to help guide us where we're going in this market and how we're heading there. And I'm also going to give you a time frame too of how long I think it's going to take to get there. Those of you that have been with us for a while, you know that our track record is outstanding. We've always had a very high confidence whenever we do put out an update and a report. So I think those of you that know us are going to be real pleased, and those of you that are just getting to know us, I think you can feel free to ask questions and learn why. Hopefully I'll bring you there and I'll teach you why and show you why we've had a high success rate. So, I've been sifting through, going through this, litany of news and data, and I'm watching people's behaviors, and I'm watching statistics, and I'm seeing what's going on in the financial markets, and then I read all the news that's going on, and oh my gosh, this is probably the worst time that I've ever seen in all of our lifetimes, that our the fake news is real, and it is all over the place, and it's creating confusion and panic, which creates holes in the market. So I'm going to open a couple of these holes. I'm going to show you a little bit about what they're all about, and they're holes in the market that I think are going to start out like this and keep getting bigger. So if we can penetrate these areas in the market where opportunity is outstanding, mainly because of the misinformation. I'm watching these agents, I'm watching these investors, nobody seems to know what's going on, but for me, it's a little bit clearer. I've seen it before. Me and my partners, investors in the past, have made money exactly in markets like this. So I think this is going to be a fantastic time to take advantage of some of these areas where attention is yet to go. So, let's start with local news. So local news in Vegas, people that want to know, have investments here, that want to know what's going on in their investments. It's all gloom and doom here in our newspapers. But I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that the people that are writing these articles, most of them don't have in-depth personal knowledge of this business. They're just reporters, and they're good reporters, but a lot of people now are like, it's okay to kind of give an opinion rather than just state the facts, and I think reporters need to state facts. But nonetheless, I don't think that a lot of them have this personal experience of the business like we do, and so I think they miss a lot of the holes, and so they end up making the market look worse than it is because they don't really understand it. So when you are I think one of the things I've always said, and I'm going to continue to say it here to everybody, is there's always a bull market somewhere. Jim Cramer loves to say that. There's always somewhere that money is being made. Where is it? You got to take a holistic approach to the whole thing. So, statistically here in Vegas, we have fewer listings. We have fewer sales. But the fever canceled the sales. And so I think it canceled out this increase in product. We have fewer listings and fewer sales right now, but new deals are being postponed. And they're seeing a higher rate of cancellation this year now, and that makes perfect sense. We're in a pandemic. We're in a situation that nobody's ever seen. So, how do you profit off of it? Well, I think real estate's at the top of the list for a lot of people, and I think we're at the very, very beginning of this. I think this is something that curve that we showed you that has been very, very accurate. We're right on the edge of it here. We're starting to come right down. And those of you who don't know the curve I'm talking about, email me. Send me an email to gio@reiglv.com, and I'll send you the file so you can see what the forecast is. And I'll show you exactly where we are. And I'll do another video in the future too. If there's interest, I'll take you through the curve again, and I'll update it so you can kind of see where we're at. But let me know who wants the file. Okay, so what we actually walked into going into this pandemic was new home sales markets, and sales in general were just through the roof. They were hitting new high. They were new year-over-year highs. We were seeing new month-over-month highs. We were seeing all of the different avenues of a burgeoning economy and a healthy rental market and a stable housing market with increased pricing, and so people are very scared. They're scared. Oh well, I'm going to drop out of this deal. I'm going to drop out of this deal. Well, guess what? Those are all going to be opportunities for many of our investors that are on board and starting to buy stuff. So if you're not registered with us, get logged in now. You can also do that by sending me an email, and I'll take you through the process of getting logged in with us. So you can get onto our list, and you can start receiving the properties that come through our network. Median sales price was still on an increase, too. We hit a new 13-year high. It was set at $316,000. I mean, just to give an example, days on the market have shrunk like crazy. Up to the market, they've shrunk like crazy. We've actually seen demand stay pretty well. I mean, they're 7.5% across the country, but I don't think our numbers are that high here. I'm not seeing a ton of deals fall out right now. So residential, I guess that's what I've been just babbling about, right? Residential in general, for purposes of owner-occupieds, I think that business is gone. And whenever it comes back, I've said this in our previous videos, if you look at the history of our videos, I said that the iBuyers in that middle part of the market, the online brokers that are wiping out with the flat rates, and that bottom end of the market, it has come. The medium part of the market, your time has come. If you're an agent in this market, find another job. Because if that's your only business is owner-occupieds, you're out of business. Sorry to say. Unless you're selling $1 million properties or above, or whatever the Fannie Mae or the Freddie Mac, whatever their end. And I also like the FHA is just a bottom end level, but whatever their limits are. So 400,000, 600,000, as they go up and down, as they will, you'll watch that, and that'll be your range. So where is the bull market? Residential's for owner-occupied's out. That's out. There's no money to be made. People that are going to buy a house right now. I'm not saying it's a bad time to buy a house. It's a great time to buy a house. You're going to have real low interest rates, so if you can afford it and you're looking for a new house, now is going to be a great time. Will interest rates drop? I don't know. I don't know if they're going to drop. I mean, the people don't understand that disconnection between the Fed funds rate and mortgage rates. There's a spread in there that's controlled by a lot of other stuff other than that interest rate, which is tied to the 10 years, better than it's tied to anything else. But you're going to see an opportune time for people if you can't afford it. You do have a job that you didn't lose your job, thankfully. You're going to see a great time to buy a new house and have a new place for you and your family. And that time frame is going to last about 18 to 24 months. I don't see a resolution unless tomorrow, we get a miracle vaccine, and then it takes 3 to 4 months to come back into the system. Maybe we'll change our forecast if that happens, but until then, this is the forecast. Well, when we looked at our numbers, the bull markets are in some interesting places. First and foremost, I'll tell you, development is off the hook right now. It is unbelievable. The development that is going on around our country is not stopping. They are considered essential businesses. Infrastructure is still being installed. None of that is changing. So we have a very strong economy underlying all of this. If you want to say that the stock market is tied heavily still to mortgage-backed securities, which are all over the news. I mean, I did weeks of study, and mortgage-backed securities are all over the news. I mean, there's so many stories about them out there, I couldn't even quote any of them because there's so many. You would go nuts, and I did, figuring them out. So many investors are seeing value right now, even amidst the COVID virus and the COVID-19 breakout. I happen to be one of them. So for investors, I think that this is going to be one of the best bull markets of your careers. I think when we were at the people who showed up to the last forum, I think it was in September or October, they got a preview of this. And now you're seeing the arc that I said we were on. coming off that slope, and boom, here it is. So now you're going to start seeing a slide. It's not going to be a huge slide, but there's going to be a lot of properties available, and supply is going to be great. So if you're an investor that likes to do flips and are okay with working with a little bit of a slimmer profit margin than your typical 12-year ago reference point that a lot of people still are using, where 30% and 20% and 40% deals are always available, now you're talking about 10 to 30%, which is still pretty strong. That investor is going to make a ton of money in this market, because even though the profits will be smaller, you're going to be able to turn them faster, and you're going to be able to turn them out. Because if you are a buy, rehab, and rent investor, right now is going to be probably the best time for you, maybe in the rest of your life. You're going to have a high rate of return because over time, property values are going to continue to rise. I do not think we're going to see a huge pullback. The pullback is going to be a price pullback that's going to be supply and demand related only. It's going to be only by what's currently in the market at that time. So transactions are going to drop, but the money is going to become more powerful. And what it'll end up doing, if you have a bunch of smart investors out there and you've got top negotiators that have won the awards working for you, like me and my team, going out there and negotiating prices. We had a deal in December that we had under contract for $695. That was worth $1.3 when it was done, and it needed $215K in rehab. You're going to see deals like that come across, but you're also going to see, those will be unicorns, but you're also going to see a consistent flow of properties that are going to be in that fat part of the market, because that part of the market is going to drop out for people that don't need to sell, and it's going to increase for people that do. So I think you're going to see an overall increase. I mean, the $1,200 check that Trump's sending, it's great, and I love the memes that are going around because of it, but it's not even going to make a dent. And it's getting taxed as well. I read that too. It's going to get taxed as income. I think income. So, I do think you're going to see some distressed properties coming up now. And we've got relationships with the best teams in all of Nevada. We have also teams for properties in Arizona, in California, in Oregon, in Washington. We have them in Texas. We have them in Chicago, all over the place there. Southern Chicago too, like the border, Indiana border. We have them in New York. We have a ton of them. We have a ton of them coming up right now in Florida. And actually, there's a bulk purchase property that's getting ready. They're all properties that are in utero. They're in some form of rehab that got dropped out. It's a block that's owned by a company. So we're going to have that available for our investors as well. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon here. A lot of things that are going to be revealed coming up to our investors, the people that are on our list. So if you want to be on this list, send an email or put your email and your name and your contact if you're comfortable doing that in the information below. And someone will reach out to you, or just send me the email. I said it earlier in the video. Gio at reiglv.com. Now I've said it twice. Multifamily's popping. So for people that want to see multifamily, people that want to have that in your portfolio right now, I'm seeing more multifamily hit the market and more multifamily built than ever before. Now, those of you that have been on our investor list for a while, you remember, I'm sure, that I told you that 4 or 5 years ago when Jake and I did our research, we found that the most underserved market was multifamily. And the demand, we saw it that far out that the demand was coming. Now, the demand was being pushed for different reasons, but now it's going to be pushed, it's going to be exploded now because of all the reasons. Because those other first reasons that I told you about, how the economy was actually driving that demand because jobs were coming here, lots of investment is coming here, tons of investments coming to Las Vegas. If you're a developer, you need to be on my list because we have development projects coming out of our ears and they're all good. We vet them before they get to you. So we've got some crazy industrial projects going on in this town. We have a water park that is now slated. There's rumor that it's going to be coming to town. We happen to know who that is. We happen to know them really well. We have multi-use properties in New York. We have a restaurant on the busiest thoroughfare in all of the Hamptons, fully stacked out, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Got to be coronavirus free. Got to be willing to submit to a test. But that's how strong our investors and our network are taking this seriously, is by really paying attention to the safeness of the property. And I think that's also going to be something that's going to come in just as a side note. And if you get on our list, we'll tell you these little things too, but I'll give you a little side taste of it right now. But there's a lot of little things that are going on that are tangential to the market that you'll get a little idea of what's happening once you get on the news list. But we're still seeing higher home sales in general. We're seeing higher home sales than 2019 by 25%. I don't think that's going to stop. You still have 30 days, 45 days. You may even have a little bit longer for these properties to close. So there's going to be a little stretch between comps now that are being put up, because you're going to see the property that's under contract that gets delayed because it's okay because we're going through the coronavirus right now. So you got the, title companies could be like, listen, guys, we have a deal. It's just going to take a little longer to close. Everybody's cool. Take a chill pill. By the time it records, you got like 45 days now more, I think, lag. So anybody that wants to get on board and see this network that we have, I think investment in Vegas and investment in our country in general is really going to be off the hook right now. We also have an amazing project that is a predator competitor to Topgolf. And they're taking a big bite out of the market right now. And it's an opportunity unlike any other that I've seen. So development, investors that want to put equity into a company that is taking a big bite out of that huge market right now with some amazing development going on, you're going to want to be on our list too. And if you aren't already, you need to be reaching out to me about these projects, and I'll get you the information quickly. Interest is crazy. So we got lots and lots of stuff on the table. This is just a little bite of it. I could spend much more time, but get onto our list if you aren't already. Start communicating with us and our team, telling us what you want, and we'll start sending that information to you because we've got a lot of it. So now let me jump back. I'm sorry I digressed, but it kind of went there. We're seeing construction booms as a result. I mean, contracting and construction, it's not going anywhere. Trump is supporting it. The whole country is supporting it. That big rip we just took out of the stock market that got getting funneled back, part of it's going to us in the form of a $1,200 check. Part of it's going to, development infrastructure. I mean, we've even had misinformation about, are we in World War III? Is this biochemical warfare? We've heard it all, right? We've heard it all. We're dumb. We don't even know. We're so punch drunk from all this hammering. We don't even know, what's true, what's not true. How do we know, Gio? Well, statistics don't lie. Some of the statistics that I've mentioned in this video so far, they're all on the internet. You can go Google them. There's nothing that I've made up here. But the construction boom is still continuing, and we're seeing it mainly in development. So if you're a developer, if you're an investor that likes to do development or be part of a development project, we have tons of them right now that are going up that are in some various stage of the process and the business plan. Really awesome investment. So I can go on, and I can dissect this information and drive you nuts, saying what's out there, what's not, what is true, what is not. The truth of the matter is that nobody knows. And anybody that says, that they're going to say that they do in some fashion, or anybody that says that they don't, consider your news source. Consider, do they know the market? Do they actually, trade in that market? Do they buy houses? If the residential house investor market is where you are they buying houses? Well, I do. And you guys all know that already. So you're getting information from firsthand. My experience you're also getting firsthand information from agents that are on the ground. We have a team of agents out there to help anybody that wants to buy a house. Right now, there's going to be opportunities going through the roof. I saw a house that is asking $1 million, and it's worth 1.3. And it's in pretty darn good shape. You can move right in, do some upgrades later. It's already upgraded. Some great stuff that we're seeing on the market out there for that investor. You just have to realize that even Warren Buffett, our probably greatest investor of our time, also agrees that when there's panic, there's opportunity, and that's always a time and a signal to look for where it is to get into the market. And how do you find the holes in the market where they are? Well, there's a lot of them out there, and we're going to continue to bring them to you as we find them. I can tell you that since our last phone call too, since our last communication, our investor list has grown now. Our network has grown, and last time I quoted a number, it was 17,000, and right now we're pushing 21,000. The surge in interested parties that have been coming to our list has been enormous. It's been huge. The smart money, if you will, as they always refer to it on CNBC, the smart money knows that the next bull market is real estate. It's the only thing that hasn't been hit in a long time, and it's not going to get hit because it's already been hit. And now the recovery finally has the steam, because you're going to start seeing the cash get infused into the market from the investors, and the government's going to continue to infuse owner-occupieds and make it easier and easier for people to buy homes, because that is going to get taxed. They're going to have revenue that's going to be huge. And if you are aware of or know of anything about the Opportunity Zone, if you're an Opportunity Zone investor, we have stuff for you as well. We've got it all actually coming through right now. Business is great. Our network is popping. It's a great time to be a part of it. It's a great time to be a part of the REIG network. So get on board. If you guys have any questions, thank you for your time. It was a 21-minute video. Thanks for anybody that stood with it that long. Hope you enjoyed the update.